Now you guys already know when it comes to comparing different anime, there's always three anime that are always brought up and compared to each other. The original big three, Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Now I was tagged in a tweet recently that showed this. One has to go from each row, big three edition. Now this is clearly one of the most toxic tweets I've seen in all of Annie Twitter, but we are here. I can't run from this. I gotta tackle this. Let's get right into it. So as you guys can see in the first row, we have Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo. So we obviously have to find the worst protagonist out of the three shown here. And obviously I love all three of these animes. So this is already going to be tough. This is going to be toxic. I'm going to get canceled. It is what it is. Let's just get right into it. Naruto has to stay. And I know that we can talk about, well, Naruto uses talk no jutsu in a lot of his battles. And obviously Naruto is not the perfect protagonist. If you're looking at the most perfect protagonist of these three, I'm looking at Monkey D. Luffy. But Naruto does have to stay over Ichigo for me, because when I'm looking at Naruto, I'm thinking about his goal of becoming the Hokage and how he was able to prove everybody in the village wrong. And not only did everyone in the village look up to him as a Hokage, they looked up to him as a protector, and even more. Naruto actually achieved his dream. Luffy is on the way to achieving his dream of becoming the Pirate King. We're seeing Luffy literally build a crew of people around him and allies, and even his own grand fleet that he did not even want to put together. Luffy and Naruto and Ichigo, all three of them are protectors in my eyes. But when you're looking at Ichigo, I'm seeing him mainly being a protector, which is not a bad thing, but that's his main goal, is to protect others. When you're seeing him save Rukia from her execution, when you're seeing him save the Soul Society on many occasions, like we're seeing right now in the 1,000-year Blood War arc. Now, if you are a Bleach manga reader, there may be some new information that you're privy to that I do not know. Obviously, I am not reading the Bleach manga. I'm only watching the anime, so I can only speak on anime Ichigo for now. And when I'm looking at anime Ichigo, I'm seeing a protector, but Naruto and Luffy are both protectors as well. For me, that's not going to be enough to be a better MC than Naruto and Luffy. Naruto is chasing his dream to become a Hokage, but the side mission is him being an elite protector. Luffy is chasing his dream to become the king of the pirates, but his side mission is actually being a protector as well. But Ichigo's main mission is being a protector. He's doing something that the other two MCs are already doing in my eyes. So with that being said, I kind of have to get rid of Ichigo here, but he's still a top tier anime protagonist, just not over Naruto and Luffy. In the second row, clearly we are looking at the deuteragonists. We are looking at the right hand men of each series. You're having Sasuke, Zoro, and Uryu. I'm looking at Sasuke. And obviously there are moments when the Naruto and Sasuke duo is phenomenal, whether it is against Madara, whether it is against Momoshiki. If we're going into Boruto territory, Sasuke is an elite partner in battle with Naruto. But that does not absolve Sasuke from the many wrongdoings that he has committed throughout the series. Whether it is him almost killing Sakura, almost betraying the entire village, going rogue, even after finding out the information from Itachi, still challenging Naruto to a 1v1 to finish it all. You can look at his backstory, you can look at his history and his past and say, you went through some things, so I understand why you were toxic in the beginning, but later on, you have to clean that up. For me, I don't know if I want to get rid of Sasuke, so we'll just hold on. Zoro has to stay. Let it be known, I've been on the record saying that even though Zoro is a top tier right hand man for Luffy, there was a period of time where Zoro has fallen short, and I've said this on multiple occasions. The Dressrosa arc, where Law is pretty much being that fill-in for Zoro, and then you're moving on to even Jinbei. Jinbei has been doing things equal to Zoro when you're talking about being an ally to Luffy, whether it is giving blood, whether it is stopping Big Mom and holding off Big Mom so Luffy can make it to Wano. So even though Zoro is a top tier right hand man, there are moments where Zoro wasn't there and Law had to pick up the slack, Jinbei had to pick up the slack, but we still love Zoro, and there's no reason why we should even be talking about Zoro being out of here. He is the perfect right-hand man for Luffy. If you're moving on to Uryu, I have some questions. As I stated earlier, I'm not a Bleach manga reader, so maybe my opinion may change going forward. But when we're looking at Uryu, his main issues with Ichigo, if we're looking earlier in the series, is that Ichigo is a Soul Reaper, Uryu is a Quincy. They are practically oil and water. They do not mix, but they were able to look over that and help each other in the Arrancar arc. Uryu has not shown me top tier moments that can compete with Sasuke and Zoro right now. Maybe that may change, obviously, as we continue in the 1,000-year Blood War arc, but as of right now, I do have to get rid of Uryu just because there hasn't been the same level of companionship when you're looking at a Sasuke and a Zoro. Now let's look onto the third row here. It looks like we have some lead female role characters from Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Now I'm shocked I'm not seeing Sakura here because this obviously cannot be strictly the love interest of Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo, because obviously Nami and Luffy, that wouldn't make any sense. Maybe if you talk about Boa Hancock or something, I don't know, but Luffy, as of right now, we have questions up in the air. So Nami being here would make me think that we should probably be seeing Sakura, but the fact that Hinata's here, it actually changes the game for me even more. Hinata is staying for me. You can say that as an offensive threat within the 4th Great Ninja War, Hinata was really not holding it down, but again, she does have access to Byakugan. She was doing her thing. She's not terrible, but as a partner to Naruto, she's probably one of the greatest characters in the series. Hinata really helped push Naruto to new heights and actually acts as a great mother to his children. So for me, Hinata's spot in this chart is solidified. If we're looking at Nami, I mean, Nami has leveled up her game because Zeus has now swore allegiance to Nami. Zeus is there forever. Big Mom got rid of Zeus. Now Nami has Zeus, and Zeus is also stepping his game up. Listen, Nami was boxing against Alti. I have to think about keeping Nami here. Let's look at Orihime for a second. My opinions of Orihime may change in the future, but as of right now, even though she's a great healer, I mean, even if we're looking at what's going on in the 1,000-year Blood War arc right now, Orihime has really been outclassed. Even the moment they stepped foot into Wako Mundo, Sato and Orihime were pretty much down for the count. They were gone, and Ichigo had to make his way over to the Soul Society. We don't even know what's going on with them. Maybe we will obviously see more as the anime continues to pick up, but I cannot look at Orihime and say this character is putting in the same amount of work as a Hinata, as a Nami. Nami's role on the Straw Hat crew is insane. She is literally the navigator. They do not make it in the Grand Line or the New World if it's not for Nami holding it down. Hinata helping pass down the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan. These things are very important when you're looking at Orihime. What really is Orihime doing that equates to a Nami, that equates to a Hinata? I have not seen much. It may change in this war arc, but I haven't seen it as of yet. I think for this role, I do have to get rid of Orihime. Now I know it's looking bad. It's looking very, very bad. It looks like I'm hating on Bleach, and I love Bleach. I'm not hating on Bleach, y'all. All I'm letting you guys know right now is that the 1,000-year Blood War arc I have not read. I'm currently watching it right now, so my opinions may change in the future. But as of right now, I'm sticking with this, and we're gonna keep pushing forward. This absolutely is the hardest role. I don't care what anybody has to say. Jiraiya from Naruto, Rayleigh from One Piece, Urahara from Bleach. Now, I've actually made a video in the past ranking some of my favorite mentors in anime, and Jiraiya actually ended up being one of the top in that chart because when I'm looking at Jiraiya, every person that Jiraiya crossed paths with turned to gold. Pretty much Jiraiya has the Midas touch. Literally, Nagato, top tier fighter. Naruto, top tier fighter. You have Kakashi reading his books. Jiraiya has had an impact on everybody, and I did not even mention Minato yet. You have to give credit to Jiraiya as a mentor. Now, when it comes to being a leader, we may have to have some questions because he obviously did not want to take the role of becoming Hokage. But for Jiraiya, maybe that was the correct decision based on how his personality is. Either way, as a mentor, he helped Naruto learn Sage Mode. He helped Minato become an elite shinobi and actually achieve Hokage level position. You have Nagato, Yahiko, Conan, literally 3 legendary shinobi, all being trained by Jiraiya. They became so powerful that the Akatsuki was formed. We obviously know the whole history of the Akatsuki in the Rain Village and Hanzo the Salamander and all of these things. Jiraiya played a pivotal role in what was going on in the 3rd Great Ninja War, even leading up into the 4th Great Ninja War. Now, out of all 3 of these mentors, Rayleigh in my eyes is the one that has the least amount of blemishes, if actually he has no blemishes. Now, when you look at Urahara, you can clearly say you are a top tier scientist alongside Aizen. Obviously, Aizen had his own goals and he carried them out and did his own thing, but some of the blame should fall on your lap. When you look at Jiraiya, excuse me, Nagato was under your watch. You had a say to make sure these shinobi were in good hands. Because Jiraiya, you know how to do it. Look at how Minato turned out. Look at how Naruto turned out. Jiraiya has a blemish. Kisuke Urahara has a blemish. Rayleigh has no blemishes. Let's look at what Luffy was able to accomplish after training with Rayleigh. Conquers Haki, went up, goes into Fisherman Island arc, knocks out 50,000, is able to defeat Doflamingo. His power becomes so strong that a grand fleet is formed. Luffy is boxing against Katakuri, then he gets observation haki. Now he can see into the future. Advanced observation haki. He shows us a new form, Snake Man. And then we can even talk about what was going on the roof with Kaido. And we obviously know the new powers that Luffy has unlocked there as well. Luffy is a beast all around. We have to give credit to Rayleigh, because Rayleigh, being the right-hand man of Roger, has an elite amount of knowledge on haki, and he was able to pass down as much as possible to Luffy in a short amount of time. And Luffy is now looked at as a top 10 character in One Piece after just training with Rayleigh for a short amount of time. Do you understand how cheese that is? Urahara has done a ton of things to help rectify his damages. Whether it's teaching Ichigo how to unlock his Bankai, how to become a better Soul Reaper, stronger, and helping out not only Ichigo, but his entire camp. I mean, Sato does not get stronger if he does not cross paths with Urahara. Same thing going with Orihime or anybody. I mean, he is that gifted. He was able to appoint them leaders, help them out, help them get better. But if you ask me who has had the least amount of impact on their trainee, it would have to be Kisuke Urahara. Urahara knows how to mentor, but he's not trying to be a mentor. He's not trying to be that. Jiraiya, on the other hand, actively was mentoring people all throughout the entire series. Rayleigh saw what Luffy had to go through and actively was trying to be a mentor. The difference with Ichigo is that Urahara knew about this issue with Aizen and all of these things, and knew that the world was going to need Ichigo's help, because Ichigo is a special case. Ichigo is mixed with everything. He's human, Soul Reaper, now we're finding out he's Quincy, he's Hollow. There's so many different things going on with Ichigo. He has access to almost every ability. He's broken. Urahara having access to this knowledge means that he would have to actually become a mentor, but that's not really his main role. He's more of a scientist to me. So when I'm looking at these three right here, I think I'm gonna have to get rid of Urahara, but it's very, very tough, because I do think he's great at what he does, but that's not really what he's trying to do, as opposed to the other two. In the last row, we're looking at the villains of the series. I'm shocked I don't see Madara representing Naruto, but I get Pain being here. I understand it. Kaido being here representing One Piece is an odd pick, because we obviously can talk about Blackbeard, but I guess recency bias, we have to go with Kaido. You see the picture of Aizen here. Aizen staying. Aizen has nowhere to go but to stay on this chart. You cannot touch Aizen. You cannot get rid of Aizen. He is staying. If you look at the other two choices, none of them have moved like how Aizen moved in the Aranha arc. Aizen had the Soul Society not even knowing who they were fighting. He had them all hallucinating with the Kyoka Suigetsu. Aizen literally fused with the Hogyoku to transcend powers. Literally, they had to put all their faith into Ichigo using the final Getsuga Tensho just to bail them out. There was nothing else they can really do. You call in Yamamoto? Well, Aizen has a plan for that. Wonder-wise, sealing the Ryujin Jaka. There's literally a meme in the anime community that talks about how Aizen has a plan for everything. Aizen has planned everything out because he literally planned Ichigo's whole life out beforehand. Nagato. You can say that he's well written. I even believe Kaido is well written. One of these two gotta go. Because as I said, Aizen, you can't touch him. He's staying. This is tough for me. But if I had to pick one to get rid of, I'm getting rid of Kaido. Now, if this had been Blackbeard or even Eam, this would be a totally different conversation. But when I'm looking at Kaido, just a heads up, this is manga territory, very slight manga spoilers. If you guys do not want to get spoiled, skip ahead just a little bit. If we look at Kaido's backstory, from a young age, his own kingdom was literally trying to use him as a political bargaining chip. They were saying, listen, let's just throw you to the government. Let's enlist you into the Navy, because if we're able to do that, then our leaders will be able to have a seat. And clearly Kaido didn't see it that way, and obviously Kaido had to join the Rocks Pirates to get out of said situation. But that backstory is nothing in comparison to Nagato's. First of all, the image that we have of Pain in our eyes is not even Nagato's actual body, as we all know. That is Yahiko's body. That is one of his favorite comrades, one of his best friends, being used as a tool to fight with. Because Nagato saw Yahiko as his great leader. The Akatsuki, the original Akatsuki, had a much brighter, much more positive goal, and then it got turned to something evil and wicked because of the wrongdoings that Nagato has gone through. Same thing with Konan. And everybody was after Nagato's eyes because he had access to the Rinnegan. Nagato, seeing all of this, feeling all of this, literally became pain, embodied pain. The things that he went through were way worse than Kaido. To me, Aizen's such a great villain, we don't need to discuss anything else about Aizen based on just what he has shown us. But for Kaido and Nagato, I believe that Nagato has a stronger reason to be the way he is. Kaido is more of a survival of the fittest, brute strength kind of guy versus Nagato, who actually went through certain things that made him turn out the way he is. Now, I know what people are gonna say, oh, Rob doesn't like Bleach. First of all, we are comparing the big 3 anime. I love all 3 of these anime. I will continue to watch Bleach, and like I said, my Bleach answers may change based on what I get to see throughout the end of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. But as of right now, that's where I'm sticking. Now, don't let me get canceled by myself. You guys get canceled with me. Post your ones that you're getting rid of from each row so we can be toxic in the comments like it normally is. Nah, I'm just playing. But listen, I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support. More videos are on the way. And with that, I'll see you next time.